basically the lights were, Congress voted on to create these lights back in 1865. Finally, in 1872, they were erected out on Grassy Island. In November of 1872 is when they were activated. And they were originally illuminated with whale oil in a 6th order Fresnel lens. And that's why there were 2 families that actually lived out on Grassy Island to maintain the lights, as there were 2 of them, and they did burn a lot of whale oil. So during the daytime, not only did they have to keep the lenses clean, but they had to get the whale oil up to the lights, so that at night, to keep them lit, they didn't have to be carrying the oil up. So during the day, they did that. And then in 1972, 1967, the Corps of Engineers decided that they were just in the way. They weren't used any longer because there's 2 other sets of range lights out there. And a range light there's basically 2 of them, one higher than the other. And ships use them to guide and make sure that they are in the channel. If the taller light and the lower light get out of sync, that means they're out of the channel. And there are 2 sets of range lights out there right now. Nowhere near as pretty as these are. They're just like a candle. So, but what was happening is the ships were getting larger, and they needed to widen the channel. And the Grassy Island Range Lights no longer being needed, the Corps of Engineers was going to burn them. That's why members of the yacht club said, "You can't do that. We've boated by there for decades." So the Corps of Engineers said, "Well, tell you what, we'll sell them to you." So the Green Bay Yachting Club was able to acquire them for $1 each. Corps of Engineers picked them up, set them on a barge, and moved them to the north side of a harbor. That was great. The taller of the 2 served as the cloakroom for and entrance to our 2nd clubhouse. And that was great. And for 30 years, they served their purpose. Then we got our new clubhouse, tore the old one down, and there they were. 30 years, no maintenance. They're wood, moisture, wood rots. That's when the second opportunity came along to burn them. That's when the Yacht Club Board of Directors was going to do that, because they were just in the way and they were rotten. And then 2 gentlemen stepped up, Merlin Bainan and David Nelson, said, "Why don't we just move them over to the breakwall where they are now and restore them?" David says, "Can you do that?" Merlin said, "Yeah, we can do that." And they brought them over here and started the restoration 7 years later. In 2005, the restoration was completed. They became part of the State and National Registry of Historical Structures. They had a dedication. Great. Problem was not so much the lighthouses now, but gravity was kind of taken over, as the breakwall that they're sitting on was made up of old rotten concrete from the city of Green Bay rebuilding some streets. And as gravity would have its way, the roadway was falling down into the river and into the water, and our roadway was disappearing. The lights were on a stable set of concrete, but no way to get to them if we didn't do something. And that's where David Nelson and the Nelson Family Fund came up with the monies. After David and Rita had both passed, they established a fund within the Fox Valley Community Foundation for the Fox Valley region. And we were the first benefactors for that, to the tune of $2.6 million. Now, why? David was out here. He was a member of the yacht club. He and Merlin were friends. And he was out here every Tuesday night. Tuesday night was when the work was being done, the restoration and maintenance of the lights, as it still is today. And so we had to go out and get quotes. Well, couldn't tell anybody until such time as they announced the fund and the foundation, and we were the first benefactors from that. So then we went out, we got the bids, and started the restoration, rebuilding of the breakwall. It's now the David L. and Rita E. Nelson Memorial Park, named after them. And it's a beautiful facility here. And we have a lot of people that just come out here, sit at the picnic table, and just enjoy the view. And occasionally a ship will go by, and which is really kind of neat. And if you happen to be here on one of our visitation days and get up in the lighthouse when a ship comes in, it's awesome. eyeball to eyeball with the captain and the flybridge. That's cool. And we've got something coming up that's going to be kind of add to that spirit. We were able to get a couple of brass horns from Kallenberg. And so we will be able to do the salute to the captain as they come in. They're not quite ready yet. We hope to have them ready for the Veterans Day celebration that's here on November 8th. And, but they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful sound. So we're kind of looking forward to that. Actually, during the winter months now, and we say winter months, when the boats are out of the harbor, it's called winterizing. The docks are pulled in away from the shore. And now we go on our Saturday. We're open generally from about 11 to 1 on Saturdays. Basically, it's a chance to get around, talk about what needs to happen, where are we going, what kind of maintenance do we need when the weather warms up come spring. And generally, somebody will bring a pot of chili or some other kind of meal and just kind of enjoy the camaraderie that we've had.